Breakfast is an important meal that has a significant impact on our health and overall well-being. It is especially important to pay attention to breakfast in old age, when the body needs additional help to maintain its functions and provide energy throughout the day. Breakfast normalizes blood glucose levels and replenishes energy reserves used up at night. After all, even if you sleep, the body continues to function. It also makes you feel full, so you can go about your daily tasks without thinking about food, which helps you maintain a healthy weight. And finally, it improves attention and concentration, which is especially important for school children and students. What matters is what your morning meal consists of. In this video, I have collected for you 5 foods that you should eat for breakfast after 50 years. Therefore, watch the video until the end. It will be very interesting. By the way, friends, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also click on the bell so you don't miss my new products. Product number 1. Cottage cheese is one of those components of the diet that comes to the aid of an elderly person. Cottage cheese contains a large amount of protein, 16.5 grams per 100 grams of product, which is necessary for elderly and older people to maintain muscle mass, which decreases with age. For an elderly person, controlling weight is very important. If your weight is within the normal range, then you have a better chance of getting rid of obesity-related illnesses. Cottage cheese is a filling product thanks to the large amount of casein protein. This type of protein is slowly digested and creates a feeling of fullness for a long time. Therefore, not only pensioners, but also people of the middle age group love cottage cheese. Do not forget that the presence of protein and calcium in cottage cheese makes it a valuable and healthy product for the bones of a pensioner. In old age, it is important to maintain muscles in working condition. Nobody talks about working with heavy barbells and dumbbells. No. Start by doing 2 strength training sessions per week with your own weight. Use cottage cheese as a source of protein. Casein protein from cottage cheese along with exercise will help you reduce age-related muscle loss. Cottage cheese can be eaten at any time of the day. Many elderly people and professional athletes like to consume cottage cheese in the evening. Eating cottage cheese will bring a lot of benefits to a pensioner. It is worth remembering that people with lactose intolerance should not eat cottage cheese. Product number 2. Age is not a reason to give up a healthy lifestyle. In fact, maintaining your health and energy is especially important as you age. One way to achieve this is by adding fiber to your diet. Foods that are also rich in fiber. Whole grain products. They contain a large amount of fiber as they are made from whole grains, retaining all their components. These are whole grain bread, cereals, buckwheat, rice, oatmeal, and whole grain pasta. Legumes, peas, beans, and lentils are all excellent sources of fiber and protein. They can be added to soups, salads, or prepared as a side dish. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, pine nuts, flax, and pumpkin seeds, rich in fiber and healthy fats, can be eaten as a snack or added to salads and baked goods. Product number 3. Berries. Blueberries may protect against cataracts, and cherries may help you sleep. Berries can be an excellent remedy for the prevention of many diseases. For example, blueberries, blackberries, cranberries, lingonberries, and strawberries contain antioxidants that slow down oxidative processes in the body and therefore prevent aging. The nutritionist is sure that consuming sea buckthorn in old age will help avoid early aging associated with degenerative changes in the cardiovascular system as well as prevent cancer. Gooseberries contain a lot of succinic acid, which promotes faster metabolic processes. And cherries help you sleep better because they contain natural melatonin. In addition, raspberries contain acetylsalicylic acid, which thins the blood and prevents the formation of blood clots. and blueberries help prevent cataracts and glaucoma. She emphasized that eating just half a glass of berries a day is enough to provide the body with the necessary nutrients. If you have problems with the gastrointestinal tract, it is better to consult a specialist before eating berries. Product number 4. According to the nutritionist, the product effectively maintains muscle mass. This is very important in old age, since muscle tissue atrophies at the fastest rate in old age. Cholesterol, found in chicken eggs, is one of the most controversial nutrients in the everyday diet. For a long time, it was believed that cholesterol in the diet should be strictly controlled to avoid problems with the cardiovascular system. However, current understanding is that the connection between cholesterol in food and cholesterol in the blood is not as simple as it seems. A large body of scientific evidence suggests that 1 egg per day is safe, even for older people with diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Since eggs are a fairly high cholesterol food, they are the first to appear on the list of foods that should be excluded. At the same time, the modern position is that eating eggs is still beneficial, even for older people with poor health. A study published in 2002, which analyzed the health of 177,000 people living in 50 countries, showed that eating 7 eggs per week did not have a noticeable effect on blood lipid parameters, including cholesterol levels. Thus, most recommendations allow for 1 chicken egg per day for the vast majority of people, including older people. The researchers note that eggs are safe even if you have diabetes or a history of cardiovascular problems. So, product number 5. Experts recommend including oatmeal in the diet of older people, especially those who suffer from diseases of the cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal tract, and obesity. An oatmeal breakfast will help you wake up and give you energy for the whole morning. At the same time, it will not cause heaviness in the stomach, bloating, or flatulence. In fact, oatmeal is loved all over the world. A huge number of people prepare this simple product for breakfast. Take the British, for example, and look how fit and cheerful older people from European countries look. You can talk for a long time about the standard of living and medical services that are available to people from more developed countries, but it is nutrition that gives 70 to 80% of this result. People at any age experience problems with cholesterol, and this is one of the most common topics in nutrition for modern people, but there is practically not a single elderly person who does not face this issue at all. Oatmeal can significantly improve your well-being in this regard. If you consume 200–250 g of oatmeal per day, you can lower your bad cholesterol levels by 6–8%. Oatmeal contains beta-glucan. It is this substance that helps lower cholesterol levels. The same beta-glucan, when preparing oatmeal, forms a special mass in the form of a gel. This gel envelops the walls of the stomach and digestive tract. Thanks to the high amount of fiber, oatmeal helps with constipation and indigestion. When choosing oatmeal, you should pay special attention to the cooking time of the porridge. You should not buy instant porridge. If the porridge is simply poured with boiling water, then most likely it does not contain a sufficient amount of dietary fiber, which means there will be little benefit from such food. Many older people are overweight. This happens for many reasons. For example, lack of activity, increased caloric intake of the food basket, type 2 diabetes, decreased metabolism, etc. There are studies that prove that eating 30–40 g of oatmeal cooked in water gives you a feeling of fullness for 3–4 hours. Regular consumption of oatmeal helps to maintain weight, and if you properly plan your diet for the whole day, then over time you can get rid of extra pounds. It is worth understanding that oatmeal reveals all its beneficial properties only if it is cooked in water. No added sugar, fruit, or jam. Now we'll tell you what is important to consider when preparing breakfast for an elderly person. Elderly people are not recommended to consume large amounts of sugar, and substances. For breakfast, you can make pancakes, pies from whole grain flour and spelled flour. An omelet with vegetables and cheese may be a good choice in the morning. Breakfast should not only be key, but also delicious. Therefore, prepare dishes from healthy varieties of flour. Recommend some sweeteners. Give preference to vegetables and fruits, lean meats and fish, cereals and legumes, and be sure to consult with your patient's doctor about his diet. A tasty and favorite drink in the morning charges you with good mood and activity for the whole day. It could be fruit drink, fruit tea, compote. Coffee and tea invigorate, but in old age it is better to please them. The place for choosing breakfast does not play any role. If it is possible to have breakfast on the veranda, ask your ward what he thinks about it. Fresh air and delicious breakfast. What could be better? Discuss with your ward what he would like to eat for breakfast. You can schedule it right away this week. Give the breakfast you prepared a good mood and a smile, and don't forget to have breakfast yourself. This ends our video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Thank you. See you all again.